I knew that I had to do it. I don't have parents. My partner's mom, I don't know, was staying someplace, not around. And I knew that I had to be everything. There was no room for me to break down or anything. I couldn't have it even if I felt like it. So my family went to his family. They spoke, sat down, and then they decided that if you feel like you want to take a break, you can go back to your home and take a break. You said you needed help. Go and get that help. And he said he was going to go. But the day that he decided that he was going was the day that he set the house on fire.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to another exciting episode of Within. My name is Hazel, and joining me in studio today is a very near and dear guest, my sister, Thembi Maphanga.
Hi, Hazel.
Hi, Stacey. How are you?
Gorgeous.
Ke a o bona. O jele ka black o lenyora.
Wena, ke re ke rile le blonde.
Bathong wena ke re bona ausi o mo dilong.
We cannot.
I bona. Onyiwa. How are you?
I'm good, my darling.
O shapo.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for agreeing to being a guest on my podcast. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, it's been long coming here.
I know, and I'm so honored.
Pleasure.
I'm inspired by your story. Okay, maybe not your story, but like your resilience, everything that you had to go through to be here. I know it wasn't easy. Mara a re tle ka yona hanyane. Kopela o te introduce.
Ke nna Thembi wa Maphanga. Ke bolela Sepedi. Okay, a ke Mopedi. Ke Moswati.
Yeah.
But Sepedi ke serile sekolong, and Thembi wa Maphanga grew up well known as Miss T, which is when you call Thembi, sometimes I won't even check. Like when we go like Miss T, then I'm like, who's calling me?
Yeah.
Because I've been using the Miss T word name for a very long time. Okay, home is Witbank. I came to Middleburg due to work purposes. I was still young, pursuing my dream in the engineering world. And I'm still in Middleburg years later.
Kore yo tshwere monate Middleburg ene?
Middleburg, I was called to come and be the Messiah.
Halala.
So much happened in Middleburg, the West, the beauty and the ugly.
Yeah.
It did, but I'm still here. I didn't pick up my bags and leave. I stayed and I stuck on.
Yeah. Where did you go to school though? Here or go Witbank?
In Witbank.
Yeah.
I did everything up until my college years in Middleburg. And I only came to, I did everything in Witbank.
Yes.
College in Witbank. I only came in Middleburg in 2004.
Okay.
I was very young. Came, I had a learnership where I was doing one of the careers that supposedly women are not even supposed to do it. I was doing fitting and mechanical, and I was the only woman, and I did it. So I was challenging the other gender. So I would carry those tools and be a human, and I didn't allow anything to bring me back. Back then, I was young, and I had that thing of saying, I loved it, actually. It wasn't something that came as a difficult thing because I loved it. And then 4 years later into learnership, I qualified. you're this engineer now, you're doing this and that and that. And I kept pushing. And now that, girl, you are working. Yeah. Bashimanusa eminyana girl. You are working, you are good. Uthomobula matlhonyana, like stresses sa di buka sa leyo, like, oh gosh. Bakae bashimane, where are you boys? Like, do you look at me? Oh, bashimane came, Sham. They came.
And ba tlotla bona vele. And ba tla le dilo tsa bona.
Yeah, they came.
Mara very books before boys because boys bring babies. So before we talk about shimaning, I just want to know, how was your schooling journey? Your primary school, your secondary or middle school, high school, varsity. How was the journey? Did you have any challenges or skolo nesele shapo for wena nesele mnad?
Skolo nisile sharpo because I grew up as a very intelligent girl and everything was an easy going. And when my father, I was in mid school, I think we used to call it Standard 5. He was like, my daughter, you know what? When you want a better life, it's either you're going to be a doctor or you're going to be an engineer.
Yes.
Don't just go and be this and that and that and that. And eventually he planted those thoughts in my head going up and how I chose my secondary subjects, doing mathematics, doing science, whereby lots of women didn't want to do those subjects because they has to be done by men, because they're going to be doctors, they're going to be whatever. And I pursued that. And after that, before actually I finished matric, I lost my parents, unfortunately. So during my college years, I didn't have parents. So I was just only pushing myself with the thoughts that he told me, it's either doctor. I can't be a doctor because I can afford university now, but I can do college and go into college. That's how I did the engineering way. And yeah, it led to where I am today.
How was the loss of your parents? How did that have an impact on you, especially how like was nearly standard 10 again?
Yes.
Grade 12.
It was very bad. It was bad. Believe me, you will dead. First year, I didn't write some of the subjects. I think I didn't write English and maths because we had to bury my father. And then I had to do, what did they used to call it? Supplementary studies. Then that's how I got my matric, through supplementary. But during my supplementary days in May, that's where I lost my mother again. But luckily I passed. And the following year, I went to college and I did my college. It was very sad that we lost parents, but because we're such a big family, we are 8. My parents never bereka, ke re bona. I'm the 5th one, and then there's 8 of us, and luckily we kept each other company and we made sure that we don't feel that gap that much, of which you will never feel a mother or a father's gap. But understanding that both of them, they had different challenges health-wise and they passed. And then we grew up. We just kept supporting each other as siblings. I don't remember having Mangwani or Rangwani come to check on us. It was only us that we just kept pushing until today, that it's still only us, even through my journey as well. I know that when I say my friends, I still do a lot of things with my brothers and my sisters. I'll show up somewhere in Groove and I'll be with my brother, and a lot of people are still confused that he's my partner. So yeah, that's how close we are, because in sadness and in happiness, we just support each other.
Shout out to the Rents, hey?
Exactly.
Maphanga,
They did the deeds.
yeah, by petile
Yeah,
taba ya
they did the
bona.
deeds because whatever foundation they built it's still there today. We could fight, it's not gonna even last a very long time because eventually you feel like there's something that is
missing
wrong in your soul that
something.
you have to fix it.
That's so beautiful.
And there's no place like home even today.
I love that. I love that. So obviously, le batloholo ba hao, they are your children.
Yes, my
Yeah.
sister's kids, like back home, my sister's staying there with her kids. They're my kids. I get there. They know, oh, Mom Cool is here, and they know they're my kids.
Are you the rich aunt?
They call me some R aunt for some reason. I don't know
That's
why.
rich aunt.
Because they just know that they get into my car, there's some change they're gonna get. They get through my phone. They just know they're gonna do whatever. Like when I'm home, they like take over. When I leave, I'll be like, "Where's my phone? Where are my shoes? Where am I?" They'll just bring them. I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Auntie Thembi.
Yeah.
So go college, how were you able to fund your studies as an orphan?
My father left some funds that when you are below 21 and still studying, you get funded based on a certain course that you are taking up until maybe above 21 you are done, and then they stop funding you. So that's how my funding went up until I was above 21, and I managed to get myself whatever learnership that I had. And obviously they were no longer even funding me because I was above 21.
So you went to your college, you finished, you got your learnership.
I went to college. Finding a learnership was an arm and a leg back then to
Really?
get, because as a woman, remember, this is a field whereby men are supposed to work there. And as a woman, having to come in, it was so difficult. Then I found myself a job. I worked at the hospital.
Okay.
I was a cleaner,
Okay.
Monday to Friday. Saturday, Sunday, I worked as a cashier. I was working for some big supermarkets.
Okay.
Saturday, Sunday, I'm sitting there, I'm a cashier. Monday to Friday, I'm cleaning hospitals and toilets and everything. And I was independent. That's how I knew how to have money. That's a beautiful thing that I know. Oh, I'm getting 2 salaries.
That's so when I can.
So while I was doing that, looking around for learnerships, and a learnership came. And when the learnership came, I stopped the Monday to Friday job,
The cleaning job.
the cleaning job now, because I have to do the learnership. But I kept the cashier one. I'll come to Middleburg Monday to Friday. Friday, when I knock off, I'm going back to Witbank. I sit on the till and make that 2 days salary. And it was working for me. I couldn't feel the need of going and ask somebody for any funds, for anything. So my independence, that's how it started.
Yeah. No, we rang actually.
Remember, we don't have parents. We are 8. I'm the 5th one. So the other 4 doesn't stay with us. It's not there. So meaning I'm the elder. And the money that I got, I was a breadwinner.
Sure.
And I made sure that the 3 that is coming after me, they have food, they have clothes, they have whatever. Nobody said I must do it, but I felt that as an elder sister, it's my responsibility. So I kept what my parents taught us to do. So I kept on doing it, like until I got a permanent job, and I kept on doing it. It's no longer a need or a necessity, but it's just something that comes with love, that let me just do this. It's home. There's nobody who's coming and doing this and that and that. It's something that I'm used to. I'm still doing it today.
There seems to be a push and pull in society currently, especially amongst, I can't speak about other races, but in our race, between men and women, and this whole independence thing, and women who are working. And I don't want to throw in the word feminists, but women who are working, earning for themselves, paying their own bills, ho ba boima for them, according to what's happening, to find partners, or once they do have partners, they are not submissive. And there's just, did you have those issues when you were
Working.
yeah, especially your two jobs and just the way no bereka boima ka teng?
Then I didn't even have time for boys because I felt that I won't have time for boys having to work, and I wanted to have a career somewhere. And when I had a career and show off it and dating, it's that thing that you know that you're not gonna blackmail me, you're not gonna put me go through things that I do not understand. The society is coming with the thing because when you are independent, you can stand firm and say, I don't want this and that and that.
Sure.
And you get those that are unemployed and not doing anything. They're even scared to voice out anything. Whatever comes, it has to go. You not even have a platform. You're not even given a stand to say how you feel. It's not that you're disrespecting your partner, but just saying, I don't like this. And as an independent woman, when you do not allow your men or you don't take them cheating, then you're disrespecting. A lot of women, they'll be sitting home. The man hasn't even slept home for 7 days or 7 nights. It's okay. Ke bo papa go ba ngwana, o tlo boya. What's that? It's not all right. It's killing you emotionally as an individual. You'll be walking as a dead human being because you can't voice it out. It's like you're living your life, portraying it through the person that is a breadwinner in the house. When are you just there to bear kids and clean the house? You're a helper, actually. So a helper, helpers have rights today as well. But you have to be sitting there and you can't say anything, you can't voice up everything. But we're living in days whereby men are different. You get supportive men that will push you to be better.
Sure.
And make sure that go out there, I know you want this, go and do this and that and that. It's only those controlling ones that comes from the background and they do not want to adjust to this lifestyle that we are living, that women today are working. And as much as we are working, can we be partners in everything and help each other? Do not come with the thing of saying, well, now you have to control everything, whereas we are doing everything equally. But as some other category, you want me to fully do everything, whereas you're just sitting there, I'm a man. We live in different times.
Yeah, it's that whole thing of men want traditional women, but they themselves are not also traditional
They
men.
are not.
Yeah. And we're also living in modern times.
Yeah.
What happens,
I think you got to choose what you want.
Sure.
Our men are very confused. They don't know what they want. If you stand firm and you stick by what you want, you won't be confused and you'll lead a normal life. But because you go out with this other person, you have this multiple layers of a human. You're like an onion. When you are here, you are this person. I'm not saying we not all have layers. We do have.
Definitely.
But our partners have this multiple layers whereby they end up losing themselves. They can't even say who they are. Because it goes with friends. Like barracking, you're going with the flow. And going with the flow is for dead fishes. Why are you a dead fish?
As
Like
a man,
jumper,
as a
like
leader.
pillar, have a food. You let your friend know, hey, my wife wants me now. I'm going home. Hey, my family this and that and that. They don't want to do that.
Sister, do you think that it's possible as a woman to have an opinion, have a career, and still have a family?
Yes, it is. I have quite few friends that are in such. But I believe and I've seen in this lifetime that we are all challenged differently. We're not going to go through the very same challenges with your, whether you are opinionated or not, you are still going to have challenges. So that one that is independent, you have an opinion, you're still going to have your different challenges. You're very way different from the one who's staying at home and everything. And maybe probably the stay in home partner, when you look at their problems, they're not problems to you. They're like, oh gosh, what the fella all. Like, what's that? You're not even working. Why are you complaining about that? So it's different. Everybody has something that is different that they are going through in their life.
It's not a one size fits all
it
type of
cannot
thing.
be. It can't.
Yeah. You seem to be doing well in your career.
It's my third car in my lifetime.
Yes, yes, ma'am. I I love it for you. How is work? Nobelela about the male dominated industry, but you seem to have pushed. You're still here. You're very resilient. You're a strong woman. I admire you.
And I feel that where God has put me, it's where I have to be. Because if it wasn't, I wouldn't feel this comfortable. I would be agitated. I'll be jumpy because it's not where I am. I feel like the challenges that has happened in my life, they had to happen so that I could be the person that I am. Probably I was going through a wrong path or something. Somewhere you get redirected to come back to where you're supposed to be comfortable so that you can get all the abundance in your life, whatever that it's in your life. So, yeah. And work-wise, I would say, like I said, I'm very blessed, guys. Like, I'm so blessed that I think in that entire company, I'm the first person who got sick for such a long time, over a year, and coming back to work, and the company's like, oh yeah, you can't do this anymore, but let's give you something else. Like, and then they, like, on top of what you think you have lost, they've managed to give me that boost of saying, you're not losing your job. Yes, you cannot practice as what you have studied for, but now we have this for you. Are you comfortable with it? I was like, it's gonna keep me busy. It's okay. I'm taking it. Let's go. Let's see what's next. We'll see. And I took it and I went on. I'm working there and I'm okay with it.
In the 10 years, King 2004, 2024, no, what transformation have you seen as far as females and the empowerment, especially more industry? Are you in mining? Maski mining?
It's industrial.
Yeah. What transformation have you seen happening there for women?
It's a lot. It's quite a lot because I was the first artisan that was hired there. And then there was a second one, the third one. From there, they introduced different kinds of jobs that they were only for males, but they introduced females. And today we have an entire shower house for women, whereas when I got there, it wasn't there. As a woman, they didn't even know where to put you because that industry wasn't formed for females that they'll come and work and have to go and shower after that. So I've been there seeing it developing when they building change houses for women and women coming in as engineers and coming out and everything. I'm sitting there in a medical position whereby I cannot do anything because it's a heavy industry. Everything is dangerous. So they had to check me physically. Where can I fit based on my medical condition? And I'm sitting there. But I see people growing every day and going to places where when I was starting this career, I thought I'll be there. But I've seen other women pushing and becoming better and higher positions, which is beautiful. And now it's normal for like you see a woman and like back in my days when you go to work, you'll be wearing your makeup and everything. Now we're like, duh, makeup for what? You don't even worry. We all men. Like, look at me. Why must I even shower? I'm going to bath at my house.
Yeah.
Like, it's okay, you know. Back then, I'm dirty. I want to wash. I want to. Like, now, who cares?
No, Kyama
We are all,
no.
yeah, we all my daughter, no. No, we all my daughter. We're like, we in there. We are within.
The inside.
So, yeah. Like you want a hairstyle, you have to buy it so that you can keep it somewhere. Because you cannot take it with you there. It's very dusty, it's dirty. It's you see you check most women with like short hair and everything because we're exhausted. Imagine you're gonna sweat in that hair
And
for
la
12
parali
hours.
skokoro.
Come makeup, you'll be sweating. Imagine.
Got you.
Yeah.
Got you. You're a different breed.
So you're just gonna have to accept your natural beauty that Arieng Bafan.
But la bona kontle.
Yeah, they don't even notice us anymore when we're out there and wearing our makeups. They're like, yeah, is it you? Like, yes.
Now, mojolo utlile. Mojolo utlile. Wakra mojolo. And then dilo dia change.
Kere mushimane ka mo kreya ka morata wena yo
Le kopane kae?
khona mo Middleburg when I was all qualified and everything and then mushimane ko o ke mo kreile mushimane we dated for 2 years. Everything good. He had his stories, I had my stories, but we tried to make it work as a couple. And eventually, one day, I'm like, oh gosh, I'm gaining weight. Lena, me jolo e lena la bono reba. Bona re ke bang. How wen? Go yo hlola ba. Wena, you are 4 months pregnant. Oh, doctor bang. Are e ke ro robala le bashimane. Apa o muji ka mo? Like I wasn't expecting this. How did it happen? Yeah, you are not only pregnant, my darling. You are carrying 2 kids.
Wow.
It wasn't in the plan. Negi go kare ke tshwere ke di high ke tshwere ke eng. I used to love Nando's. I had to sit there and think, like, bang, how did it happen? And how did I get it wrong? Okay, eventually, Miguel, you are working or sharp or preke. Let's just let it be. It's okay. You are pregnant.
What was your plan? You wanted to get married and then start a family? Or kids were just, they were there, but not really there?
Kids were there, but I was like, re tla bona, man.
Sure.
Not now.
Sure.
Like, there, not here.
Sure.
So, yeah. The kids did was the pots could not happen. So, all there was here. So, my here, that's when the problem, Limijolo, started. Or, but she might not have a pregnancy, but it was a cramp. Yo, Mushimane Kolono Tomo Tlakana acting up. When they make you pregnant, they behave like that, like Awalin. This is extreme. Like,
What was he doing when he was
like
acting up?
lashing out and attacking you personally. Like, it's either you are ugly or something out of the blue. Like, where's that coming from? Like, now you're starting to see that other level of the onion that has peeled, or underneath there was this. And then I remember one day we arguing and he slapped me during that fifth month pregnancy, and he slapped me. I was like, you can't win. Like young, like he didn't even have that thing or I'm sorry, but he just left and walked out of the door and he disappeared. The following day, no apology, no nothing. Like he's coming in, like fine, get this and that, and leaving. Like, what's that? Then you hang on. You know, okay, this person had some temper, but it didn't have to go to slapping and. Okay, fine. The 5th month, I had an issue with my vitals went good, and then I was rushed into ER. And then ER found out that they couldn't locate one of my kids' heartbeat. So I was rushed into ER and emergency C-section, where they find out my son was still. And then they saved my daughter. And then coming out, my daughter stayed in an incubator for like 6 months, I think. And he was still crazy, not supportive, not emotionally there. I didn't even know what was wrong with him, but something was just not on. And I knew this is abuse. And am I doing it because we have kids together? Why am I couldn't even pay attention that much into him because I just buried my son and my daughter. It's in ICU somewhere. And then he's going through some things. During that period, he just quitted his job.
Okay.
We have a child. Why do you quit your job?
And also without discussing it with
Without
you.
discussing. He quit his job, and then he tells me after a month or two that he's quitted the job. Like, what? We have bills. We have a child that is basically
Sick in
living in the
hospital.
hospital. You're quitting your job. Yeah, I'm not happy there because we started a family. I need a job that could do something better because I'm working late nights.
Okay.
So, yeah.
What was this man doing then?
He was a manager at one of the lodges here, around here.
Okay.
So managing that, he would knock off around 11 p.m. at night,
Sure.
almost every night. So get home after midnight, probably. Oh, yeah. So that's what his reason, that he wanted something different that will make him to be home as normal people, like maybe after 5 or after 6, not after midnight. Okay, good. I don't have time for this drama. I have a sick child. I'm not even paying attention. I'm worried about my child. My child eventually is discharged from hospital. By then she's like 7 months.
Okay.
She's still
She's
tiny.
still small.
She's small. And we're carrying her with an oxygen machine
Okay.
because she was born without lungs. They grew while she was already here, and they kept growing, managing. And the fact that she stayed so long on life support, she struggled with water in her lungs and everything. But wherever we are going, I remember by then, we were introduced to load shedding. We used to load shed a lot in 2008. And when the oxygen machine has to be off, you'll be struggling, worrying, because it gives her oxygen, because then I had to organize with the municipality where I was staying, clear still, make sure that I don't get load shedding due to a sick child and everything. And then she was 1 year, 2 months working and starting, and then they took her off the oxygen machine. It was big. It was like carrying a vacational bag. Sure. When you go, you carry that, you push it with you, and it was just one of those difficult situations. And she came out of it bubbly and beautiful, and a year, 3 months, she was all walking, bubbly and everything. I could do her hair. And then she could notice, this is mommy, this is papa, this is like, eventually things were smoothing up. But the father was still crazy.
Describe that period for me, because you've got a career, you've lost a child, you have a sick child. You are also, you've given birth, it's your first time. There's a lot of
C-section.
things happening in your body, your hormones. No kupa bang ko mmerekong, and just in life, nje.
The 6 months time of maternity, when I went back, I was declared unfit due to my body. I wasn't eating. And the fact that I had a C-section and I was still practicing in artisanship, whereby you have to carry heavy things and everything. So they gave me another 2 months. I went home, stayed. That's when my daughter was discharged. It was a very difficult time. But I knew that I had to do it. I don't have parents. My partner's mom, I don't know, was staying someplace, not around. And I knew that I had to be everything. There was no room for me to break down or anything. I couldn't have it, even if I felt like it. But I had to make sure that everything works out for the best. The only time where I could feel that things are better and normal, it's when my daughter was discharged, which was months later. Sure. And seeing her that, she's okay and we are right. And that's when I could breathe, and looking back, and I was like, gosh, how did I go through that? But eventually, I think, they say we have angels, right? Sure. And God will be holding your hand. You're not just doing it on your own. Because sometimes you look back, you ask yourself, how did I go through that? How? Was I even there? But yeah.
In your quiet moments, how Mutzia maybe, and then you guys are having a conversation and you're like, yo, Papa Vana, but have you ever had that conversation? Did he ever tell you what his problem with you is or was?
When I sat him down, he'll tell me he had emotional issues that he knows that himself, he needs to work on. And he knows that sometimes I'm the strongest because I could held up everything. Yena, he has issues that when they attack him sometimes, he doesn't even know why he does some of the things. Or sometimes he'll be in a trance and he doesn't know why he did some of the things. And I believed him. And when he say, I'm going to get help, I'm going to be fine, I didn't want to be this noisy bee in his ears, causing him, because he was a timing bomb. He will just be fine. I think if I were a doctor, I would say he was bipolarish, because you cannot be angry now and laugh at the same time. Something is wrong with you. If you're angry, you're angry. If you want to cry, cry. You cannot cry and laugh. Something is not okay. How do you match all those feelings at once? Or how do you lash out now and 5 minutes you are smiling, you're okay? Yeah, what's that? You're still shocked. I can't move to where you are. I'm still shocked here. Can you come back here? No, I'm not coming back there. We are done there. I'm happy now. Like, dude, what's that? I can't. How do we move from this? And then you sit there, you're hoping it's going to be all right one day. It's going to be fine. Let me support him. He needs support. In a way, sometimes I was feeling for him because the things that he was doing, they were not normal. They were very scary. And you'll sit there and look at the person when they're sleeping and like, something is very, very wrong with you. I wonder what it is. Because when you are awake yourself, you don't even know how to deal with it. And how do you tell somebody that you have a problem until you come out? He will say, I have a problem, but what are you doing on? Are you getting help? Yes, I'm going to get help.
He never did.
Never.
Did he get a job?
He did get a job. I think 4 months before our daughter passed, he got a job. He was an agent at some company, and it lifted his spirit, and he was like
An
better.
agent there in?
He was, I don't know, what were they doing? Going to shops, introducing new beverages that, oh, this is the kind of drinks we're going to bring now. Do this shop want it? Do this one want it? And then go back to the company, or this company want this boxes, so much, and something like that. So that's what he was doing. And but yeah, he had his days and his episodes. They continued, and I'll be like, Otomile, let's see.
You got used to it.
Yeah,
It stopped
like,
shocking you.
yeah, you're no longer shocked. But the whole day. You're like, gosh, go and you'll be fine. And by that time, you get not into him acting up. He's getting annoyed that you're not paying attention. I'm like trying to get your attention. You're not paying attention. And it gets worse and worse, whereby he'll follow me. Remember now, our daughter is like, yeah, we're staying with a nanny. I could move around. I could now go out with girls. And he started being a stalker now. Like, he'll be sitting probably maybe next door, calling me, where are you? Hoping that I would lie. He's looking at me, he sees the car, is standing there, it's parked there, and then he'll ask you, where are you? I'm like, I'm here at the parks. Like, oh, okay, now he relaxed because you didn't lie. And then some other occasion, he'll be like, where are you? But you could hear on the phone that this is the same music that I'm listening to now. So probably the person is around. Why is he asking me where I am? And when you look around, you see him standing there. Like, where are you? Like, I'm here. Don't you see me? Oh, okay, fine. So, yeah, it was his obsession. Everybody knew if Thembi is not the side, Mr. X is the side, somewhere around. So you couldn't move that far without him anymore, because in his head, how I was getting used to his craziness, he felt that I'm moving away. He's losing me. And of which I was getting bored. And I would tell him, I'm going to leave you one day. You won't believe it. So he believed it. And that's when he started following me around everywhere. And he'll come pick me up at work. Don't use the bus. I'll come pick you up. Don't do this and that and that. Don't do that and that and that. Like, how come I'm not giving you the do's and don'ts, and I'm the one who has to do the do's and don'ts?
And you're not even married at that time.
We're not even married. Like, how is it possible? And the do's and don'ts you are giving, you're the one who's more away than me in the house. Because I work so hard, when now your job is just to drive around, Now I come back, I'm exhausted. I could just spend the entire weekend without going anywhere. When now you are out with friends, I don't follow you, I don't do anything. But once I go out, you think, no, he's going to leave me.
End of the world.
So, yeah.
Financially, would you say that you are contributing, not contributing, but taking home more than him?
Of course, I was initially from his first job.
Sure.
I was taking home more than him. I was responsible for most 90% of everything in the house, and which finances were never issues for us.
Okay.
Only his way of dealing with his emotions and how he carried himself, and him probably as a man not feeling that he's contributing enough for some reason, because I didn't give him that reason to feel like that, because we would have two cards that has the very same amount and he'll be fine, but still he'll feel how he will feel. So we couldn't even go out. People will think we are married, because I made sure that even the car we had, he was driving it more than I was driving. So he had his issues and his demons that he wanted to deal with. And yeah, I just kept on praying that one day it's going to be fine.
The house that you were sharing with him, was it yours or his, or a joint house?
It was in my name. So probably I'm the one who took the loan. Remember, we're not married. So I took out and I bought the house for us, me, our daughter, and our nanny. We were staying in that house.
Was there a point where you asked him to leave?
No.
What was the plan? Because he was not treating you right. He was making your life a living hell. He was stalking you. Why didn't you ask him to leave?
You know what happened? Because we stayed so long and we are not married, I asked my family to go to his family so they can sit and we discuss as family. I didn't want him to feel like, because, yeah, you are working, you don't take me like this and that because this is your house and everything. So my family went to his family. They spoke, sat down, and then they decided that if you feel like you want to take a break, you can go back to your home and take a break. You said you needed help. Go and get that help. And he said he was going to go. But the day that he decided that he was going was the day that he set the house on fire.
And that's how you became the burnt survivor.
Yes.
Take me back to that day.
On the 13th. The 13th, ke March, chomi ya ka o birthday ya ka di 12. So it was on a Friday, the 12th. So decided to celebrate her birthday and the housewarming on the 13th. So me and the girls, Ratamaya, bese yena, my Mr. X, o tla le di guys ba mo area we were staying. They come there. I'm cooking. It's a nice Saturday afternoon. It's cool. It's beautiful. We're cooking. We're serving people. And then he comes, ke ba fa dijo. After 20 minutes, umuntu no ra re tsamaye. Ke ra wo wena ba. It's impossible. How do you do that? A re ke ra re tsamaye, o ka re o naga bashimane too much. These people are my colleagues, don't you know? Like, you know this, you know this, you know everybody here.
My friend.
And my friends, and your friends as well. Hey, Ratsamai. I can't do that to my friends. You know, this day was planned for a very long time. Mishimana ntshware ka di-braids. I remember I was ne ke braidile. Pray kwa. It's during the people now. Remember these things, it does them behind doors and everything. So now we require about tray e wele kwa ke wele mo fatshe. So bashimane ba ne ba le mole
Ba emella.
ba emelle ba re, how do you do that?
Mo pela rene ebile wena.
Like, why do you have to do Thembi like that? Like, what did she do? Yeah. I will not wa loser. Atamai. Leave the party. Go kinna ole banong ke stressed calling. Arikona no. You remember I said if we have I needed a break and then I'll go back home. Ke ya ko mamaka. I'm going home. Okay, fine. Nna ke nna ole re fetswa peya ke tlhape ke apare di jean party ya
But
qhubeka.
it's well a bit. So, I au change mood, that thing.
Uchinchitse, but I had to be there for my friend. I
Sure.
couldn't take my personal life ichinche event ya chomi yaka.
Sure.
Because Nali, my partner, what we did wasn't planned. The party was planned for a very long time. How do I come and go and change the day and make it about me? Sure. It wasn't my day. Sure. So ke qhubeke o tsamaile ka koloi chomi angkhape ka bo 211 bushu fitlhentlong high. It's fine o rile o ya ko mama high.
Where is his home?
It's around in Middleburg.
Okay.
But another section, like
Okay.
5 kilometers away from where we are staying, 5-10. So ke fitlhe ntlong ke check neni o teng ngwana ba robetse ke keneng ke robala. In the morning a fitlhe a re ya o tlo lata diaparo, like he said hore he thinks it's time hore a yo lokisa mathata la hae a di emotions and of which now he's speaking about something that we spoke about months hore bari family ha ena fatshe hore do this and that and that a re o tlo ira ha le ready. So that day a re already ha nna ebile ha ke ne miracle le ena, I do what you have to do.
So you
Mfanaka, you know the
you were
house.
over it at that point. You were over him, over
Like
the
there's
stories.
not even, I'm not surprised by his episodes anymore. Like everything was like, you know what?
It is what it is, dude.
Yeah.
Whatever.
On kry ke robetse ko couching so.
What's her good?
Ke tshwere ke papa a se ke lapile a ke khalile next ka mo mo gele le ana o busy o so mama bathong yana mphe peace hle it's Sunday a fetsa a re ko nna ya mo boy a re a ke pakile ke feditse I'm gonna take the other clothes then come back a come back a re we need to speak privately because more niki in re ko kamoreng.
Sure.
Yeah, sure, no problem. Argona, you know, I won't forget these words. How I'm looking at you now, nobody's gonna ever look at you like how I'm seeing you now. Yeah, Tomila wa act, retle reba. Retsamaye ko bedroom a lock. It's fine. Re phela re lock re nna le nene and everything. So now ko kamoreng he's like pacing down, up and down. O sala bona bedroom e leng hore there's no headboard or anything, it's just the bed and there's enough space you can move around, pacing around, pacing around. Ha fetsa o tla ka 5 liter. So ke botsa hore pathong Mona sebetsa teng ke wine company. So these other boxes ne di ba metsi na tshela ko hara di 5 liter. So a di fa batho like if e punch you jakere you won't sell it anymore. So na di bia go garageng ke re bathong why 5 liter wine le mo kamoreng. Ke eng rano o rile ha ntshela ka yona ka ro modimo ka motse a ra fetse o lwa mabane. So now ke a gore it's petrol. And remember when I went to the back room o na le bizampula matlo wa ntatella kere. So we went together into the bedroom. So 5 liter it doses me and then leans against the bed at a match. You know, ho ke mo rapetse hle. Correct. Or apologize, wa rapela, everything, and holding him like this, his hands like this. O tshwere match. So I don't want him to.
I like
Yeah. I wish him, he knew what he wanted and he wasn't gonna back out on his plan. Crying, begging, doing whatever. He overpowered me. I lied. You know, petrol when we hits in so maybe paraffin uira price ten or how it that bedroom went like poof. Ke bone ngwana wela kwa. And even ka mo ke chinne ke meriri so.
Yeah,
Mara
tshwara
e
ka
braided.
pele ke
It's very
plastic
fast.
lona.
Ka mo e namathela mo. So I have few seconds to think or ke rabang. Remember o lightile a tswa ka le window.
Yena.
Our window is not the back class. So at left us there. So no because I'm in flame and ke amogetse ka mo walla. Mama mo qakegile ngwana o re go etsahalang. A tswa ka le window a tsamaya. Few seconds ke ko bo a ke bone ke tima bjang ke tswele nna ka le window.
So you are on fire at this
Yes,
moment.
I'm burning everywhere, clothes, everything. And I'm just using my third sense. Sorry. I know the window's here, the tap is there, went there, ke tshele ka metsi. Now the house, now the glass, the tomo crack, or this steam is too much. And I remember ngwana ka ko o khile ka ko. So my neighbor ke re le nna phela ngwana o ka ntlhele ba re monyako ba ska khona ba re monyako ba ska khona. This other neighbor of mine a te tshele ka metsi a pare kobo a ye a motseng ngwana. So taking ke amogezwa ke mo lebella so mo le ngwana ka ke mana marama a ruhile a thomilo like this, but she wasn't swollen like I was. Like ne ke bona hore oh ngwana ko wena o khola o sne mme ke bona hore I'm gonna die because immediately the way ke feeling fast ka hona and got so swollen and big. Ambulance I fitla. Our local hospital, they said they've never treated such amount of depth of burns. So they took us to a hospital in Joburg, Melpark. So my daughter was taken to, we flew in different aeroplanes actually. So unfortunately that day, that's when I last saw my daughter. And she passed away at the 18th of March. And she was buried at the 21. Now I was in a coma. I didn't know much. April, May, June, when I woke up, I was on life support. When you are on life support, you can't talk, you can't do anything. But I could sign and ask, where's my daughter? Because I could notice her it and nako e tsamaile, and the way I saw Kamu, by now tlamehile o fodile. So I started signing my daughter in. Now my family started dodging me. Them dodging me, it told me something is wrong. Eventually I knew. So when they came, but like a psychiatrist, they were, you know you were banned. Happy kamono last 2 days, remulukile ing. Kara sharp kale ke bona hore something is wrong. There's no problem. Family ba tjho ba re shem o strong o acceptile. Aba fetso tsamaya, remember they will come once Sunday because they're in Witbank and I'm in Joburg. So they'll come once Sunday to visit, and so aba tsamaya. I went back to coma. My body shut it down. I couldn't take the news. My body just stand still. I was put back on life support. And it didn't last long. I think coming through 7 days, and I was like, no, I can't do this to my daughter. I cannot be a failure. Now busy she can't even do that. Now busy bapala na ka di coma le di going back. I need to fight. And from there, you know what? I do not even care or how do I look. As long as Kehema, I didn't die, it's okay. And hearing, Barry, hey, okay, Mr. X, since he ran away. And then when I woke up in September, he handed himself over and then agreed, or he did whatever he did. He didn't know what got into him, blah, 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 blah. I stayed in hospital for that year, 2010, the entire of it, trying to heal the wounds. I couldn't even, it was overwhelming. You don't know whether you concentrate on the fact that you are bent and you are so in much pain, or you concentrate on the fact that your daughter passed and has been buried. Like I was just lingering there and not knowing how to feel. But I remember my daughter came in a dream one day, walking up a vest. She walked into that ICU room and climbed on the bed and looked at me and smiled. And from that day, I knew that she's there and she's looking at me, and I cannot be sitting here and feeling sorry for myself. And whereas she knows that I'm here, and she cannot even voice out what happened to her, and I'm sitting here and I want to feel sorry for myself. I have to make this recovery work. So, in 2011, I went to rehab. I was a cabbage. I couldn't use my hands anymore. I couldn't walk. Sleeping for a very long time, it makes your body numb. So waking up and sleeping for a very long time, if you could see, because I have this big bald thing. Yeah. Yeah, for a very long time inside that scar, and your head doesn't grow anymore. So I have that thing. This. So they were like, when no, this thing it's a mark. Actually, but I fought. So I went to rehab, and they have to teach me how to bath myself like I've never bathed myself before, how to stand up, be a little so. Like I've never walked in my entire life. So rehab was 4 months, and I was an outpatient. When I was an outpatient, I was very, very thin, and the pigmentation wasn't there. My entire skin was pink. But you should have seen me seeing the world. It was like a rebirth. It was like, wow, I almost lost this. And I remember I couldn't even worry that people are so worried about how I look, because they didn't understand the excitement of me coming back and walking and seeing. Like everything was like new. Like, gosh, I'm back. There's malls, there's this. Like, it was reappreciating every little thing I gained from scratch. And people wouldn't even understand that this person, like, staring. I didn't even care. You're staring. This is nothing. Yeah, I almost died. This will come along. I don't care for how long, but I'm here. I'm back. Like, the feeling of coming back and being alive and being able to walk. I've seen death like this, and coming back was like a boost for me. And that is why I think even my scars never bothered me that much, because I know that there were wounds, very painful ones, and it took a very long time for them to heal. They are third degree, they are permanent. People, they'll ask me, why you say it's a plastic surgery? When I get plastic surgery, plastic surgery was invented for people who have no scars.
Sure.
So for us, it's skin grafting. I'm grafted. Plastic surgery. I'm grafted. There's nothing more they could do. You could take all the IVs and everything, but if a skin is damaged, it's damaged. And if nerves are damaged, they have to regrow from scratch again. So coming back was very, very exciting. And accepting the passing of my daughter and understanding that I went into that hospital. I knew that I had a partner and a daughter, and I'm coming back. I'm this person with a new skin, no daughter, no partner. I'm this new person. Who am I? I had to find my feet and myself. And I think God leaded me that the fact that I didn't even worry that much about my looks and going into the internet. I couldn't even find a burn survivor. Everyone was in America. I was communicating with people. Very, you know, who feel comfortable sometimes when I talk to people that went through the very same things. So there was no one. I remember first day when I posted my picture on social media, I was so mocked. People laughed. People did whatever. Like, yeah, you'll get over it. You'll get used to it. They thought I will stop, I'll give up. I kept on posting a picture every day. And when you do that, every day you don't see that you're getting better until you go back and look how far you have came. You've seen that you are healing. But not knowing that I'll be attracting a lot of people that were going through the very same thing before I went through what I went through. And then some, they are domestic violence survivors. Some, they just burn survivors that happen through maybe accidents and everything. But today I have that entire world of family that I go to, and I'm their safe place. They come to me like, I couldn't do this, I couldn't do that. When you came out and you gave us this thing, Yaori, this life, it's okay. I didn't ask for this. I also deserve the very same respect as you who doesn't have scars and everything. I mean, who owns oxygen? Come on. It's God. And why must we make other people feel that they less of deserving of being on this planet because of a scar or anything? So I went on and registered an NPC, and I grew the family. We did a lot of things together, and I go around ask for donations for them to make them happy. I take them on vacations. I make prizes for them. I'm not from Joburg, but I'm doing a lot of things in Gauteng. People think I stay there.
Sure.
And I don't. So in my spare time, I go out, go to companies, print out my letter and my company and my proposal and what I want to achieve, helping domestic violence survivors and burn survivors. And I go ask for donations, and when we get that, I tell my kids, there's a date, we are meeting. Let's do it, girls. So yeah, we're rolling, we're getting bigger. So the future burn survivors, they don't have to go through what we went through. The mocking and everything is not nice. It's not everybody will come out and be okay about how they are looking. Some people are still damaged today because they walked and they were mocked and they can't walk around anymore. So society just need to give us a chance and come on, we're still human. Yeah.
I was shocked when I learned the sentencing here, Mr. X.
Ooh. Ooh wee.
Yeah.
It's not only you.
Yeah.
I came back and I was like, it's just that I'm somebody who, I'm versatile. I tend to flip over quicker from situations.
Sure.
When they said, yeah, we are giving you 10 years and 5 is suspended, I
Yo.
was like, Mudim, what's that?
Why not?
Can I Google suspended? But on 5 years.
Kontle.
It wasn't even 5 years that he stayed.
Kotrongo.
I think it was 2 and something.
Oh my
Because what I had, I remember I was doing night shift. I guess I get more than 300 and something missed call on my phone. And people are like, hey, we saw him. Then I called go jail. But no, he was released last week. Patong, what him? Yeah, he was paroled. Remember, it's the first time what, with no criminal record, blah, blah, blah. He deserves a second chance. And I sat there and I talked to myself. I was like, yeah, it's above my control. What can I do?
You azanga wa tshoha hore o tla tla o felletse?
No, that I did not, because I just had that thing that he is a sick person himself. Anything is possible with him, but I wasn't scared of him. And I remember there was a time during his time he asked to see me, and I went to see him in jail. And all he did was just cry and apologize, cry and apologize. So that's how I saw how messed up he is. And I even felt sorry for him. In my scars, I still felt sorry for him. And I told him, listen, I forgave you, Qabang. Now I'm going to live my life and I'm going to be good. I'm going to be okay. So I don't want you to think that I'm going out there, I'm after you or anything. No, I just want to recover and lead my life. Nna ke rata bophelo bathong, and happiness, I'm addicted. So I'm not going to let anything stop me. I'm just going to move on. You found me a happy person. This happened. I'm going to try and manage it the best way I could so that I could live a normal life. Then I left. He came out. I never met him. People around me, they'll tell me, oh, we saw him. How? The month next, another missed calls again, ke robetse. Mpsa e goile, bathong. Bara motho ke ba mo kreile, ba re o nwele poison. Man, your ex. Bathong.
Hectic.
Then I said, no, there's no What? You are running. Why are you running away? You created this. It's your movie. Why are you running away? I saw Felimus movie. Why are you cutting it short? Like I felt horror he ran away. Like this thing it's your revenge. It's not. I felt like, hey, come back.
And face the music.
Yeah, face the music and be fine. So yeah, that's how he ended his journey.
Do you feel though that the South African law let you down?
It did. It was a spit in the face. Yeah, it was a spit in the face because they didn't. I can't even remember what they charged him for. I think they said it's culpable homicide or something. That was murder. Because he claimed he didn't see the child. So apparently, Kamo passed away because he wasn't aware, he was in the room. How can you not see a 2-year-old in the room, in one bedroom, this room, where there's a bed only? So he claimed, so Bamufahori it's a capable homicide. And then, it was attempted murder. They didn't even add arson. He burned the house. Like there was just a whole lot of wrong things. Me thinking about it now, sitting, it was just, even the person that was running, because it was under government, they presented the case and everything. So they were not doing their jobs. Because if they did, there's so much I could have done. They could have went that day. We didn't have a petrol in our house. Where did he get it? There's a garage there. There's CCTVs. Why didn't they go and ask for that and see that he did and bought it? And he planned this whole thing. So there's so many wrongs that happened there, but I wasn't strong to fight for myself physically. I was still an outpatient and everything. But now that physically, emotionally, I'm okay thinking about it, there's so many things that were wrong there that could have led him to stay in there for a very long time. So, but anyway, probably he wanted to keep on staying in. Why would he come out, get a freedom, and
then kill himself?
yeah, why?
What happened to your nanny at the time, on the 13th?
My nanny, the only time he was aware is when the neighbors came that something is wrong. Like we stayed in a little bit bigger house that the bedroom was there at the back. And then there's two, it's passage, it's toilet. And then Yana, she was doing laundry in the garage there at the end. So apparently that day she fainted. She was taken to hospital as well the day. And she's not even her own self today. She has nightmares. She loved my daughter like her own. She has nightmares. She's on anxiety medication. Like as much as what happened to me as well, it affected her a lot because we were like kids to her. It was an older woman that loved me, my daughter, and the father treated us well. But I remember when we were attending the court case, just a whole lot of medication and anxiety, and she'll have some seizures. Like it created a whole lot of health issues, this entire incident for her. So we still speak today. She's a little bit older and taking a lot of medications, and sometimes she'll be hallucinating about seeing my daughter, or maybe she sees her, who knows? This is Earth, we'll never know. So it really disturbed her. Yeah, it did. And kibo mme ba bagolo, they don't believe in counseling and everything. God knows what's happening in his head, but her body just keeps on failing her. Bachor is thinking too much. It's stress, it's this, it's that, it's that. But she'll say that it still started that day when she fainted. And then she was never okay.
Sure. What issues are you dealing with emotionally, physically, mentally, and otherwise, if any, since that day?
Since that day, I've struggled with the loss of my daughter. I've struggled with accepting who I am. But one thing I love, I don't carry trauma for a very long time. No, if you can ask me what's bothering me, maybe mojolonyana somewhere, omumpia. Not about how I look or what happened 14 years ago. I've managed to deal with it. I'm okay with it. I understood, and it's okay. It wasn't such a beautiful thing to go through, and I've overcame it. I understood it, and I'm all right. Now, issues that I have are just recent issues, maybe. It's a life and everything, not necessarily that, because that happened. And believe me, I don't hate men, but love is a beautiful thing. Yo, ke masanya go ratu. Wena, yo.
Besides who hating them, you're not scared
I
of
am
meeting
not.
and opening yourself up to a new man?
I'm not.
Oh, tshwere bjang, Mojolo?
Mojola ke re ya kwa le kwa. One thing I've realized, Gorenia, men are not hypocrites compared to us women. Women will be sleeping with the snake and going around beating other kids because your man is cheating. So men are just out and clear. Most men, truly speaking, my looks scare them.
Sure.
And as much as they'll be saying they're comfortable, I know they're not. It's not something you get used to. And I'm okay with that. And if somebody's not happy with that, and I'm okay to let you go, because there's no way of staying where you know that you're not comfortable for the convenience of it. There's no way. So I love myself too much to subject myself through whatever that I went through before. And I know that it's very rare to be going out there and find a man who'll accept that. Even if they can love you, they're gonna want you to be 9 to what? But if it's the 9 to bargain. So the 9 to 1 or the 1 to 9,
Yeah.
they
The
want
9
to
to
keep
5,
you hidden because
the after
I
9.
haven't I haven't met somebody who's strong enough to be going out there and explaining themselves why are they dating me. Remember, men will want to be bragging about how beautiful their woman is. Oh, pakile bjang, or ing.
It's very
So
cheap.
what are you gonna say? And you know they mock each other, that gender so much that you bring somebody like me and you don't even have a backbone. Oh, they're gonna hlafunya. And then you're gonna know who I've made a wrong choice. So I need a strong man who will know that why are they dating me. Even if they go out there and they could stand it, that no, I love this about her, I love that. It's not only about the appearance, but unfortunately, appearance means a lot to this other gender. So I'm okay with it. There's nothing I can do.
Sure. When you look at the pictures, how your old pictures, how do they make you feel?
I feel like, wow, okay. I could have been dark, and probably. But I don't even dwell on that. I'm no longer like that. Why must I drag it to want it to be present? I look at it and understand it. It's before ke kgobala. Now ke kgobetse, yes, this is me, but I don't bring it to affect how I am today and how I look, because I know that I'm not going to be like that. What's the use of saying, this is me, I want to be like that? As a reality, and I resent, because it's only going to damage me mentally. And the fact that you're facing the fact that you are bent, you understand the level of depth of scars, and you accepted how you are, and appreciating how you are healing as time is going, I'm okay with it.
Besides your face, where else are you burnt?
I'm bent up until here. So here it's donor sites. They called it 80% apparently at hospital, because this area they used it for donor. Donor meaning they cut you, paste for skin grafting, they cut you. But this part everywhere I'm bent, like I'm patched and everywhere around. So yeah.
What advice do you have for younger girls who are in relationships or maybe getting into relationships and they have partners who are showing similar traits to what Mr. X was to you?
Is to walk away. Do not even discuss it. Talk about it. If there's no change, walk away. Run if you can, or fly if possible. Because what I've realized with abusive people, it's very rare for them to come and fix themselves, because you can't tell them about how they are. Most of them, it's not what happened now. They have childhood traumas. Some, they were abused by their fathers, their mothers. So they have this anger within them that is not even about you, but you just trigger them. And you go and ask most of them what they are doing. They're not even aware, some of them, when they are doing it. But you sit one day with them calmly, you'll notice that there's bad things that happen to them, and they just pushed it over the carpet and like we are okay. But there's some moments in their life where they get triggered and they just lashes out. And unfortunately, men don't wanna share, discuss. They feel like they are weak. They don't wanna, they think they can do it on their own and they are unable to. They need help. And sad thing is, as friends, they're not even talking. As I'm saying that, they judge each other so much that you cannot go in as a man to your man friend that, hey, Pella, I'm not okay. Like you're gonna pretend I'm
They'd
strong,
rather
I'm a
go
man, solve it like a
drink.
man. Yeah, but when they go drinking, they go together. They can't say, yo, I'm so not happy. I don't know what this and that and that. And talking helps, eh?
Sure.
It lifts up out that tension and you become better because you've shared. Unlike having this problem for so many years or
And just
months,
drinking,
you don't
changing
even know
girls,
how
drinking.
to solve it. When it comes to your head, you just become so angry. And when
And
you
you
are
lash out
angry,
at
you
the
want to
wrong
drink,
people.
you want to do whatever. Tomorrow you're okay, it comes back again.
Sure.
So it's a vicious circle, and it's very sad. But eventually we're going to get it right. As mothers, we have to make sure that our boy kids, we teach them right, we protect them, because that's where it gets wrong. Abuse is not only men who are, yes, who raises those men that are bruised? It's us women. What are we doing to them? Why are they growing up to be what they are today? Because there's something as mothers we are doing to our boy kids that they grow up and not having that thing and angry at women. Because there's something we did as well wrong somewhere.
Sure. Do you have any regrets or blames, or did you at one point in this journey? How did you ever like regrets with the relationship or any blame towards yourself with what had happened to you?
At a point in time, I've blamed what I've exposed my daughter to, but never had I blamed the decision I've made. I was an adult and I thought I was doing the right thing, which was wrong. It's a lesson learned. And unfortunately, I cannot go back and undo it. It happened and I've learned from it. But me having to sit where I exposed my daughter and her passing, I used to blame myself. But growing in this journey, I realized that it's not everyone who takes a wrong path in a relationship and they end up losing their daughter in the hands of their father. So then I forgave myself and I moved on.
Where is that house today that your child passed away in and you got burnt in?
I came back from hospital. I tried to make things work. I renovated it back, made it look a little bit different, new furniture and everything, but I couldn't cope. It was very, very new in the early days where I was discharged. And in 2 years' time, I sold it. And then I moved. But it's around here in Middleburg.
How did you feel when you went to Kamhetsu's graveside?
First time I was still an outpatient, I think in 2011, because she passed in 2010. It was traumatizing. And the fact that my family took a video of the funeral and everything, it was like watching it, I was there and all that. It was very sad seeing that my daughter, she passed and how she did and got buried. I'm not even there. And going to the graveside, seeing both my kids lying there. And it broke me, but I had to understand why they're there and accept it and make peace with it. And then Yeah, I keep on visiting them now and then, but it's not something that I do very often because I feel like spiritually we are connected wherever. I don't have to go to the graveside to want to connect to them. But I'm in a better space with communicating with them spiritually now and accepted what happened.
Sis Thembi, thank you so much for allowing me into your space and for sharing your story with me. It was a difficult one, it was a heavy one. Sure.
But we smile at the end of the
We
day.
do, because re basadi and basadi ba tshwara thipa ka bohale.
Yeah, thipa ya bolaya. Ya tshwara ka bogale.
A swana ke neile. Seke wa fela ke tshepo. Thank you so much.
welcome.
E re ke tsamaye ne.
Okay.
Ke a leboga o
Thank you for
sale le modimo.
coming.
Thank you
Le
so
tsamaye le
much.
modimo hle.
Siyabonga Mme Maphanga.
Yep. Welcome.